guys, welcome back to my channel Posh Cat Eyes Unfiltered. It is another episode of Married at First Sight. It is the commitment ceremony Sunday. But before we get into the talking points for the night, let's do some housekeeping. Now, for some gentle reminders, guys, if you're new here, thank you for subscribing first of all and joining the Posh fam. Please comment, share your thoughts, like my videos, and welcome on board. We appreciate your show of support by subscribing. To my existing subscribers, thank you so much for riding the course with me. Please, again, comment, share your thoughts, and also share this channel with your friends. Now, let's get into the business of the day. Episode 21, according to Evelyn, cut to the chase, right? Let's just cut right into the chase. It's the commitment ceremony. Now, we're following on from the dinner party that was a disastrous night for Evelyn, who was basically the accountability police of the night. And we will say Dan and Sandy were being called out, as well as Hugo and Taylor. So these two couples were sort of on the firing line. For the male, yes, because of the things they said when they had the boys' night out. I don't know. Boys' night out is certainly not looking good. Maybe they should include the girls' next boys' night out. That might help. Well, no, it didn't help, because look how that turned out for Janelle and Adam. Yeah. So following on from the dinner party, we see Taylor and Hugo waking up in separate apartments. The Sky Lounge must have so many rooms, because the rate at which these couples are all living separately, it's like there might be no rooms left at this point. Yeah, so having heard all what Hugo said during the boys' night out, Taylor had decided she's not going to stay any longer with Hugo. No surprise there, because these two were sort of married but not married. From the get-go, from the honeymoon, they've been living separately or sleeping in separate space. So it was just the next level, or the next thing that would sort of progress for these two. And yeah, Taylor is like, yeah, he couldn't say those things to her face, and she is a tool. I'm just gonna put it out there. This chick is a piece of work. We're supposed to be garnering support for her, given all Hugo said, but at this point I just feel like, Hugo, glad you spoke up, because now we sort of know exactly what you're going through whilst in the experiment, or with this chick Taylor. I don't know. And then we switch over to Sandy. Of course, they've already started living separately, and Sandy, who is sort of emotionally invested in Dan, is still perplexed as to the decision that she will take tonight. Well, I am glad she took the right decision, and we're gonna get to that very, very shortly. And so we are into the hot room, where the experts, hold this couple accountable. They sort of share their week experience and how it has impacted them, and the decision to either stay or leave. First up on the hot seat, Claire and Jesse. Now, we watched the commitment ceremony from last week, and we saw all what went down last week. Now, if you would think that these two are going to be in this space this week with this sort of emotional feedback, I would say no. But they have made a complete turnaround, and they are happy and working at the relationship. It's just so good to see them happy, and Jesse sort of being receptive and receiving all Claire's gesture and owning up to her mistakes. And Claire, on the other hand, putting in the work to show that Jesse means something to her. And yeah, the experts did acknowledge that their effort has certainly definitely paid off. And I'm happy for this too. I just hope it stays that way. Okay? Claire and Jesse stay that way. And so it wasn't surprised when they both wrote stay, because again, they are in a good space and I'm happy for them. And so we move on to Dan and Sandy. I was like, this is like, so should be the dramatic event of the night, but it turned out that they needed to get this straight, and just get them ready to go. Okay? So they both got on the couch and we had to recap all of the conversations from the bot dial that has led up to them, being in this uncomfortable situation. Sandy spoke her mind. She felt disrespected. She felt she failed her parents, rightly so. Dan again spoke his mind. And this is exactly what I said. When Dan said he wasn't sexually attracted to Sandy, and they went on to get intimate, for me it didn't make sense, because when you say I am not sexually attracted to you, then there's no way that there will be the need to have that intimacy, because again, I am not attracted to you that way. So how they went from not attracted to having sexual relations, surprising to me. And even the expert actually said the same. And so he's like, oh, I just responded to my physical needs. That you did. And having done that, he realized, oh, I think I'm leading her on, and backtracked and pulled back in a way that messed up Sandy's head. And it just went downhill from then on. With the pocket dial situation and all of what was said, it didn't help anything. And the experts called him out. So he still insists that the fact that they're not doing things fit together in terms of his physical fitness with the beach, it's a red flag for him, and enough for him not to even want to pursue a romantic connection with her. Now, let's get this. They have so many other things in common. The only thing they don't have in common is the fact that Dan wants to go to the beach at 3 a.m. and Sandy probably doesn't like the beach or is allergic to the beach. I just got bored with all of the talking because it wasn't making any sense to me, not even to the experts. And no surprise, when the decision was revealed, Dan expressed his desire to leave the experiment. And his reasons, she's not into the physical fitness. And at the point, I was thinking, I hope Sandy didn't write stay, because if she did, I probably would have slapped her through my screen. And thank God, when she revealed her decision, it was to leave. And she was emotional about it. You could see that she felt, I feel like maybe if I hang on just a little bit, Dan, tell me something that will make me change my mind. But it was not to be. They're both leaving this experiment. And I hope Sandy finds what she's looking for outside. And I hope her parents, forgive her. And I hope the Indian community don't castigate her or ostracize her because of her decision to come on this show. And that it is, guys. Next up on the couch, Evelyn and Rupert. Now, for these two, this week, they were so busy focusing on other people's relationship, right? And so when they were called onto the hot seat, I knew there wasn't going to be anything from this two, because they were so busy in other people's situation and forgot that they had a relationship to nurture. Again, Rupert with the 2 words, he didn't really say much as usual. Evelyn, feels that they are traveling along nicely. I don't know, Evelyn. Butt down, pocket down, boys not out. You had a lot to say about other people's relationships, so I don't think you both had the time to grow your relationship. But again, that's just me saying it. They have decided to stay on the experiment, to give it another go, and hopefully less of the gossip and more of their relationship growth. And following that, Harrison and Bronte were up on the hot seat. Like I said, Bronte has drank the Kool-Aid that Harrison is selling. Chick is so up his where the sun doesn't shine. I can't even tell you. I don't know what's going on. I can for a fact though, they are acting and they are playing the part because they know that longevity would give them the fame they seek outside of the experiment. And so they are both playing for the cameras. They seem happy. According to Harrison, they are having the best of intimate relations to the point Ollie and Tammy are complaining about their bedmatics. I really don't know if that is true, but we're going to take them for whatever they say, right? Yeah, it is what it is. The decision, however, notably, no surprise there. They are both staying, and I really don't know why they are staying, but they are both staying. Where they did both address the meet the parents situation with Bronte's sister, trying to call out Harrison's behavior. And she quickly shut down her sister, saying, yeah, my sister only saw what happened at the wedding and has not seen how Harrison has changed, if he has changed. Well, okay, Bronte, keep sipping what you're sipping, and we're not buying it, but we're just going to take your words for it. They are both staying on, and I cannot wait to see how these two go next week. Now, for Leighton and Melinda, it got a little bit confusing for me. The last couple of commitment ceremonies, there's been a theme here, and that's the fact that communication has been a problem for them. And so tonight's commitment ceremony, or when they got on the hot seat, I'm not sure I understand why the expert decided to grill them a little bit further and making them feel like they are faking it whilst whenever they come on into the commitment ceremony to talk about where they are at in their relationship. And this led to a few back and forth with Leighton trying his best to, I guess, give the expert what they needed to hear. And that was, yeah, we have problems. There's drama that we cannot fix. And Harrison, again, know-it-all, tried to butt in again. They've said it from the get-go. We don't know how to communicate with each other. There's two alphas in this relationship, and so it's hard for one person to back down. That's been their recurring theme. So for the experts to sort of give them a hard time and make them feel like they are faking having to have a perfect situation, I don't understand. But it did get Melinda a little bit emotional, where she's saying, I don't know how to fix this. I want to try and fix this, and we probably might need a bit of a guidance in fixing it. And the expert, they did try to say exactly what everyone should listen to one another. And that's, again, been the recurring theme. I don't know why they were called out or singled out on tonight's commitment ceremony. I don't know. Again, drama does get you TV time. So there you go, guys. So next up on the couch, Ollie and Tammy. Now, these two, they're going really great. They are loved up. We're happy for them. And the parent visit was perfect. Both families sort of like where their kids are at, or like where these two are at. And they are happy and can't wait to see what's to come for them. For these two, I think they are already looking outside of the experiment and planning their future. And so their decision to stay on the experiment and give it a go was a beautiful one. So we wish Ollie and Tammy the best. Did I mention that Leighton and Melinda are also staying on to give their relationship the help that I think it needs? I don't know if it needs help, but we shall see. Next up on the couch, I'm not sure where these guys are going, but Cameron and Lindell, they seem to be struggling a lot, and it all come to a head when they go on the hot seat and the expert asked them how their week was. Of course, we know how the week was, given the fact that Cameron's mom had some negativity to share to her son about Lindell needing affection, one hug and one kiss a day. Apparently, it made for an insecure wife. I really couldn't understand Cameron's mom, the fact that she had to put another woman down to make herself feel better. And this was the talking point for tonight between Lindell and Cameron. And the experts, just watched them try to come to terms with the fact that one of them is actually wrong, and how they are approaching conversations and conflict. It's not the best way to go. I guess I could learn a thing or two from that situation, because most of the time you watch other people's reaction and actions to things, and you learn a few things and find a way to better your own situation. And yeah, the experts agreed and said, someone needing hugs and cuddle doesn't mean they are insecure. And oftentimes it's just sort of a reassurance that, you are there for them. Cameron trying to justify his actions by saying this is his first relationship, didn't cut it this time. But we'll give him a break. It is his first relationship. He really doesn't know much. I don't know, but I would say, regardless of if it's your first relationship or not, just being a decent human being should not require you having a PhD. Should it now? It's basic human instincts. Just be good, or be a good person, or be a good human. Emotional, Lindell, felt there was a better way they could communicate, and I guess communication again is a recurring theme for these couples. They need to find ways to communicate with each other, and I think the bedrock of any relationship pretty much is communication. They have both decided to stay on to work on their communication, I guess. Looking forward to how this progresses for them. Next up, Duncan and Alicia. Now, I did not see this coming at all, because I felt like they had a very good week with Alicia's mom coming and it making Duncan feel comfortable with her, and Duncan making Alicia's mom feel comfortable with him. And it felt it was all smooth sailing until she got on the couch, and I guess they are already thinking outside of the experiment. And with Alicia being a single mom, it's weighing in her mind to think that Duncan is coming on this journey, or willingly want to come on this journey with her, when he could go for someone that doesn't have a child. Pretty much less drama. And I can understand Alicia's insecurities playing up, and she's already having very deep feelings for Duncan, and so it's the next progression, and the real world awaits. This is a bubble. The experiment is a bubble, and what happens outside of the experiment is a big deal. There are no cameras to check in on you. There's no one trying to give you guidance. It's just you. And so having that fear now, it's sort of justified. Duncan tried his best to reassure her that he is here, for real, and he is here for her and her kid, and he doesn't care who she's with or what she has as baggage. And honestly, I like this guy, and I'm asking myself, why is he single? He ticks all the boxes for everyone. Why is this guy single? Well, the experts agreed. These are the questions that oftentimes would be challenging in the real world, and that they are addressing it here with the experts' guidance. It's a good thing. And yeah, they both decide that they will be staying on in the experiment, giving it a go, and see how they progress. And the final couple for tonight is none other than Hugo and Taylor. I'm just going to summarize this. Taylor is a nasty piece of work, okay? Now, she's got a bone to pick with Hugo, and that's the fact that Hugo said all of these things during the boys' night out. Justified. Hugo has tried to apologize so many times. According to Hugo, he is scared of Taylor because he doesn't know what to do to tick her off, what to do to make her happy, what to do to... He doesn't know. And so he's quite literally on edge and just tiptoeing around her so as not to upset her. Yes, he had to distress by speaking with friends, which he thought was a safe space, and it was more to, get their opinions and see if they could give him an insight on ways he could try to make this situation work for him. And yeah, he said the wrong thing. He's taking accountability and responsibility for that. Apologize, Stephen. But Taylor isn't having it. I really don't even know what axe she has to grind with this guy. She is pretty much just unreasonable. You cannot reason with this lady. I don't even know why she's here. What is she promoting? I don't know. At the end, the decision was, what's the decision? And she's like, I want to leave because he bagged me, to the other couples, and I'm not ready. I'm not going to be here. And Hugo surprisingly wrote stay because he feels he owes it to himself and he owes it to her to try and correct his mistakes or try and fix things or see if there will be an opening for him to make things right with Taylor. Pretty much Taylor is like, why would you write stay? You shouldn't write stay. You know what? I'm going to leave. I want to go back to Tazi. the theatrics, guys. I'm like, what is this girl? Who is this? Why is she here? It was just drama. That was unnecessary. In the end, the expert is like, well, you would have to stay one more week. And she stood up from the couch and walked out of the room. So I do not know what this means. Is she going to leave regardless of the experts' decision to give them one more week? Or I really don't know. And we're going to find out tomorrow. And it's a brand new week and it's going to be the couple's retreat. And I cannot wait to unpack that with you. But safe to say, I want to find out if Taylor gets on the next flight to Tasmania or she decides to stay, yes, in a separate apartment, but again, just to give whatever situation they are in another go. We'll find out, guys. And until then, see you.